Howdy everyone, and welcome back. So this is probably one of the most exciting moments in my life and something I've dreamed about ever since I was a little kid. Since I was young, I've always wanted a place I could call my own, a place where I could do all the projects I've ever wanted. What I've always wanted was a farm. Well, my dad and I recently went in together on 16 acres, so I can officially say we have a farm, guys. So let me show you around, and I'm going to talk about some of the projects I have planned for this place. So let's go check it out. First things first, guys, check out all this wheat. This is like 3.5 acres of wheat, and it was planted here before we bought the property, and it's just now going to grain. And I wish I had like a combine or something to harvest all this wheat, because man, I'd like to try to make some bread. I'd like to harvest this for chicken feed or do something with it, but I don't have a way of harvesting all this. But that doesn't mean I don't have a plan for it. Coming up, we're going to use this as a tool for the next crop I want to plant in this field, but I'm not going to spoil that now because I'm going to do that in a future video. So be sure you stick around and stay tuned for what I have planned with this 3.5 acre field. So let's go check out what else is around. So one of the features that drew me to this place was actually the fence. This is sheep and goat fence, guys, and this is actually really high quality sheep and goat fence. And the reason why I like that is with a lot of new properties, you got to worry about having old fence or fence that's fallen down and worried about your livestock getting out. With this fence, we don't have to worry about any of that. It'll hold in our cows easily, and in the future, we could even have some sheep and goats to raise out here, you guys. And that might be something I do in the future. Back behind me is the pond area. And as you can see right now, it's not much of a pond. And that's due to a couple of reasons. Well, one reason is here in Texas, we pray and hope for rain quite often, and quite often we don't get it. And right now is one of those times. It hasn't rained a lot, so a lot of places are dry. But there may also be another thing that's keeping this pond from holding water. And one of those things I think is happening is there's what's called the clay pan layer. And that's really good at holding water. But if that layer is broken, what's usually right below that is a sand layer. And if you ever watch water go through sand, it just falls right through it. And if that's the case here, water's just going into this pond and seeping right out the bottom. But I have a few ideas on how to fix this. We're gonna try to maybe layer it with a thick layer of some kind of clay and try to reestablish that clay layer so it'll hold water. It's my hopes one day I have a nice big beautiful pond full of fish that I can catch and put on the table. But we're all gonna go along with this together. You can join me and we're gonna find out how we're gonna fix this and look for solutions together. But in the meantime, let's go check out what else is on the property and some ideas I have for a few places around here. So what do you think of the new place, sir? I know, speechless, right? So behind me here, we have all the pasture area, and this makes up the majority of the property. This is where I'm gonna graze like my cows, and maybe in the future we can even graze some sheep and goats since we got all this nice fence. And that brings me to my next point. Let's talk about what's coming up in the near future. One of the first things I'm gonna do out here is I'm gonna get a shipping container building. It's gonna have a door, a window, be about 40 foot long. I'm gonna put a shed on it, so that way when we can sit out here and we have a place to go and hang out and store stuff. And the next thing we got to get done out here is I got to drill a well. And I want to drill a well to where we can supply water to our livestock, water any crops we may have or any trees. And that's one of the next things that I want to get after I get water is I want to start an orchard. I want to plant some trees out here. That's one of the drawbacks to this place is there no trees for shade or anything else out here for livestock or for myself. So we're going to look into planting some shade trees. I want to plant some pecan trees that'll end up making some shade. And it's just a lot to like think about, guys, and there's so much coming up and I want to do it all, but I got to pace myself. Well, guys, you've seen most of the property now and you've heard a few of the ideas I have for this place. I don't know, guys. I still can't believe it sometimes. There's been times where I didn't think this day would ever come, but it's here and it's a reality, and I couldn't be more excited. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you have any things you'd like me to try to do or any suggestions for projects you'd like me to try out here on the new land, then be sure to leave those down in the comments. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you can be there for when all the new videos come out and you can see all the adventures that we have on the new farm. And until next time, I hope you'll join me right here on The More You Grow.